search of fields and countryside until daylight. Colin Baker, ITN, Chester.
Lawyers representing victims of the E. coli food poisoning outbreak in Lanarkshire claim tonight that local health chiefs didn't act swiftly enough to avoid an epidemic. New tests show that the virus, which has now killed 15 people, could have been detected sooner. Harry Smith reports.
The new evidence comes from tests carried out on meat from the butcher's shop at the centre of the outbreak. Initially, local council officials found no trace of E. coli, but when the samples were retested by Professor Hugh Pennington, who's leading the government inquiry into the outbreak, traces of the deadly bacteria were present. Lawyers for victims' families say they might now launch a claim against the local authority.
Certainly, some of my clients are very annoyed that Environmental Health have not been carrying out the tests properly, not informing the public properly, and it may have substantial ramifications for liabilities against the council in failing to carry out their duties properly.
North Lanarkshire Council said tonight that their initial tests had been carried out at local hospitals, which were not as well equipped as the National Laboratory. Harry Smith, ITN.
Ulster Unionist MPs denied today that they're planning to join forces with Sir James Goldsmith's referendum party at Westminster. But Sir James's party has linked up with the Ulster Unionists in the European Parliament. Sir James said the two parties were singing from the same hymn sheet. Palestinian and Israeli negotiators were on the verge of an agreement this evening to pull Israeli troops out of the West Bank city of Hebron. It's hoped Yasser Arafat and the Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu will meet to tie up the deal before Christmas. And the Russian President Boris Yeltsin arrived back at his office today, 7 weeks after his major heart operation. He said he was full of enthusiasm and feeling fine. Shoppers took to the high streets with a vengeance today. There were tales of panic buying and cash machines running out of money. And as Ian Glover-James reports, many people are prepared to shop until they drop, right up to Christmas Day.
Some bank cash dispensers were running out of notes tonight in Britain's biggest Christmas shopping spree since the 1980s consumer boom. There were 16% more shoppers than last Christmas in Sheffield. In Essex, they were spending 10% more, and here in Surrey, some shoppers were today spending £500 a head. In the rush for a traditional box of chocolates, even the shop manager was getting jostled.
It's very difficult to actually estimate how much people are spending, obviously because we're so busy with the turnover, but certainly the amount that people are buying, I would say, is quite considerable.
In Scotland, there were signs of panic buying.
I'm convinced that Wednesday the world is ending. People are fighting over this of smoked salmon. It's pathetic.
And after the Christmas rush, the New Year sales. Shopkeepers here expect those to be even busier. Rushing home tonight in Manchester, which, like much of the north, is reporting spending ahead of the prosperous southeast. And in London, luxury goods were being snapped up late into the night. Ian Glover-James, ITN.
Now, football and Liverpool have gone 3 points clear at the top of the Premiership after a thrilling 1-1 draw at Newcastle. Andrew Simmons reports.
Under pressure from the kick-off, Newcastle in search of their first win in 6 Premiership games and nearly an early embarrassment. But in the 28th minute, David Ginola's free kick, greeted by a Les Ferdinand header, was cleanly finished by Alan Shearer, keeping alive his record of a goal every home game this season. Liverpool's equaliser came less than a minute before half-time, an unmarked Robbie Fowler launching onto a McManaman cross, scoring his 11th goal of the season. The second half was one-way traffic. Liverpool's keeper, David James, with a one-handed save 3 minutes in, denying Ferdinand's solo attempt. In the 73rd minute, Liverpool's Michael Thomas headed off the line to prevent 6th place Newcastle from taking the victory they needed to revive a faltering title challenge. Andrew Simmons, ITN.
And tonight's main headline again, the British diplomat released from the Peruvian embassy siege has said he was not mistreated by the terrorists. That's the news tonight from all of us here at ITN. Good night.
Hello, good evening. Christmas looks set to be dry, bright, cold and frosty. Perfect for family gatherings around the fire, but not so good, not so festive if you're trying to keep warm this winter. Tonight's certainly going to be a cold night, a widespread frost for central and western parts of Britain. In the east, one or two more light, wintry showers, not amounting to much, but enough to make the roads slippery, so do take care on the roads tonight. And then tomorrow looks set to be pretty much a rerun of today. Central and western areas mostly dry, with quite a bit of wintry sunshine, but thicker cloud at times down the east coast, and again one or two light snow flurries, but they will be very light indeed. Temperatures tomorrow struggling up to around 3 or 4, but when you add on the effect of the wind, especially in the south, where it's still quite strong, wind chill temperatures more like -5, and that's certainly a better guide to how it will feel. As for Christmas Day and Boxing Day, it really is more of the same. Generally dry, apart from odd light snow flurries. Temperatures by day only around 2, and well below freezing throughout the night. But at least there's some cheerful sunshine by day, so a generally dry but cold Christmas ahead. Here's the summary. Good night.
Power gen. Generating electricity whatever the weather.
Twas the night before Christmas, and throughout the land your favourite programmes all shiny and grand. There's a wedding in Emmerdale, about time they thought, and villains in the bill trying not to get caught. Then for one night only, and shaking his bones, the one, the only magnificent Tom Jones. And for Tom Cruise it seems, Kelly McGillis might fall in Top Gun, there's adventure for one and for all. Christmas Eve on Yorkshire, now that's a good night.